I am 17 years old and I never had a girlfriend. I am scared of women. Here is the explanation why he lives like that right now, which made me think about a lot of things.
Many forms, but it all is distilled down to the same thing, which is, in one form or another, why are you like this? Whether it's the dead rat alarm clock, the barbecue puke shower curtain, dead animals in the house, or any other one of the stories that are just an indicator of me living like a complete fucking animal.
I never get interested for his story. I mean, me neither. I mean, I just know him. I watch sometimes. I don't even watch him like a lot. But when this video popped up, I just wanted to see what is happening, and you will see.
People always wonder, why would a person live like this? Why would a person
Bro,
be
watch
like
him
this?
a lot.
Why am I like this? And I think that honestly, there's a lot of answers for this. I really don't want to make this like a super long video. So hopefully I can distill it down to some main points and
40 minutes
not really go off on
video.
tangents.
It's not long video, Asmongold.
Because there's a lot of like history with it and everything like that. And so basically the first thing you need to know about me is that I actually, if you can believe this, I know this might sound shocking, is that I actually have not always been like this. This is a relatively new thing for me. And I think that it really kind of started a lot when I would say in high school, and then later on it kind of entered phase 2. And that was probably somewhere around 21 or 23, somewhere around there in those age groups. And that's whenever, the degeneracy really kind of went, it ratcheted up to the next level. I leveled up. No
the head on the wall?
DLC,
I don't know.
etc., right? And so this happened then, because as a kid, I was actually very much like a very conscientious kid in the way that I basically didn't really want to be perceived in a negative way. I wanted to be seen as a good person, etc. And I've always had a big problem with being able to like relate to other people because I think that I'm just a little bit off, right? I wouldn't say that I don't have a moral compass, but I would say that my moral compass doesn't point north. And this has been a problem in a lot of cases in my life, whether it's with relationships or friendships or anything in between. I've had a lot of problems because of that. And in the process of this, I've learned a lot of things about myself. And the main thing is that my take and my view on moral issues is not really what I would say a normal person thinks. And this has caused me a lot of problems. And especially like as a young kid, being able to like interact and fit in with people, it's a weird dichotomy because the truth is I actually always did have a lot of friends, and I never had problems making friends. But at the same time, I always felt like I was very different from a lot of other people because of the way that I felt.
Guys, do you think that you feel different from your like company, your people around you, in school, like let's say in gym, whenever? Do you feel like different from these kids?
To have, for a comparison, just a point of reference, I guess you could say, I used to have my mom read me all of the different like sins in the Bible and everything, because I understood even as a little kid. I'm like, there's something wrong with you. You better learn this so that way there aren't any problems in the future. And so I would have her read all of these to me. That way I would understand how to behave, right? Because it just never came naturally to me.
Bro, I haven't been outside with friends since July. I go to the gym only and I play League. Wait, what? I mean, don't you have you have friends in school, right? But you just don't go outside with them, right?
That come naturally to other people were not natural and are not natural. It's not like things have changed. If anything, they've probably gotten worse.
I have it in school and outside of school. But you don't go outside with friends? This from outside, I know them since I was 5 years old. Okay. But why don't you go outside? Like, what is the reason? Because you just don't have time to, like, be a kid and be outside with friends? I don't want. Okay. Why don't you want? Like, you feel like... I mean, I can understand you, basically. But I just want to know why. Focusing on myself. Bro, they changed a lot. I mean, the people starting drinking, smoking. I don't want myself being involved in that. Okay, think about it. you still can be friends with them even if they drink and smoke. You're not like you're not forced to drink and smoke if you don't want to. I mean, I understand. Basically, what I see from this is that you don't. Why you're friends with these people? I mean, do you have something in common, like to like do things that they like? That I mean, you like and they like at the same time, except drinking and smoking, because yeah, people in that age start doing this shit because they think it's cool. They starting enjoying it. They do it with other people. Used to play Fortnite at 2:30 and it was perfect, and play games outside. Yeah, usually people stopped playing games. I changed my school and I am in class with 19 girls. Jesus, how many people are you in school? I mean, in your class? If you're like 22 or 23 maximum, there is no way you have only like 4 or 5 boys. What grade are you? Like, how you have 19 girls? Huh? I mean, usually it's like 10, 10 or 13, 9 or something like close, but 19? We are 5 boys. Huh? Okay, more girls for you, I guess. I mean, to choose, not to have a few at once. Okay, I want you to think about something. Think about how your life is right now, and at what stage is right now, what you have in life right now, and what you have in class, in school, or outside of school. Think about it, what you have, and listen what he will say that he had, and he had to do, basically, every day for a long time. One girl that talks with the boys only. There is one girl that talks with the boy. She just don't talk with the girls.
As I've gotten older.
Okay,
and
think
so,
about it.
I've always had a big problem being able to like understand like where how you should act, how you should treat people, what you should do, how you should say things, etc. So almost everything that I do is a learned performance rather than an innate social.
Learn how to communicate
instinct,
with people.
If that makes sense. And hopefully the performance is good. I consider myself kind of a good actor, at least, right? But of course, there are going to be cracks and outtakes as well. And so those are usually in the form of the Twitter clips with 100,000 likes. And so anyway, as a kid, I was always treated this way, and people thought that I was a little bit off, a little bit weird. Like one time, like for example, there was a kid that I was like playing with baseball with him, and he was annoying me, making me mad. And so I hit the ball, and I hit it with the explicit intention of hitting him in the face with the ball, and I did. And so I remember there's blood all over the kid's face. He like broke his.
Wait, I missed. He did hit someone with the ball?
I was like playing with baseball with him,
Baseball?
and he was annoying me, making me mad.
Okay.
And so I hit the ball, and I hit it with the explicit intention of hitting him in the face with the ball.
Aha!
And I
Okay,
did
so
it.
he
And
hit
so,
someone.
I remember there's blood all over the kid's face. He like broke his tooth and everything, and everybody was standing around.
I mean, if
like,
he
what
would
the
make
fuck?
fun of you,
this is like terrible. And I remember walking up. This was like the best day of my fucking life. This happened, and I was so happy. And I could see that other people were made very uncomfortable around this. And that's whenever I started trying to like really kind of mask my emotions and how I felt about things, because it was very evident to me that I was not really normal. And this has been, again, a huge problem my whole life, but that was pretty much the first, at least the time that I can remember in my mind.
The voices.
The first time that I can remember that and see that, wow, this didn't go over the way that I thought it would go over, because I was so happy and nobody else is happy and they think I'm like a bad person. But it's like, from my perspective, that's not how I saw it. And, from my perspective, rip bozo. So this is a big problem.
Okay, so basically, he acts as with aggression against bullying, which for boy is understandable, but it's not something that you have to accept, because the fight is the last thing that you have to think about it. What color? Asmongold, please is purple? What? Okay.
And this happens in middle school as well. I cared a lot about like how I looked, how I dressed, etc. in middle school.
Can you imagine that Asmongold actually cared how he looked? Like he dressed, he was using the baths sometimes. He drinks only Coca-Cola. Yeah, right now. Before that, he wasn't. Just listen.
I mean, really, who doesn't? And I really tried to like take myself seriously, and I tried to have a good impression, etc., do the right things, say the right things, wear the right things, be the right kind of person.
Yep.
And going into high school, I kind of got there's a weird thing where like I ended up going to like one high school that I didn't want to go to, and then I ended up going to another high school after that.
I had the same situation.
I told my parents that if they didn't change me over, I would kill myself and fail every single class.
I accept this part.
Which, to be halfway, I was halfway followed through with that, because my first semester in that high school, I had a GPA of a 0.08. It was actually impressive. It was hard to do. I had to go out of my way for this. And so then I ended up getting transferred over, and I went to the school where my friends were. And I think that like the high school that I had originally gone to was a much more superficial, much more like, like a higher class high school, because my dad wanted me to go there because, like he wanted me to go to school to get an education. Imagine
He smooths his
I wanted to go to
eyebrows.
school to hang out with my friends.
I cannot,
So there was a
I
bit of a
cannot.
disconnect there.
Look,
And so
I can do this.
I go over to the other school, and I realize that
But can't do this.
I need to stop caring about what people think about me, because I saw the people that were in that other school, and I realized that's not the kind of person that I wanted to be, because they were the more extreme version of the person that I was trying to
look
be.
like so
And
good
at
if I
that
could.
point, I realized that I didn't really
It's not
want
that
to
hard.
be
I just
like
cannot.
other people, and I had to develop, I guess, my own identity. And this was at like I would say 14 or 15, and that happened, and that continued all the way through high school. And I was always like, I never really had a girlfriend, right, in high school or anything like that. Maybe I talked to a girl, but not really.
I'm trying.
Okay?
I'm trying
And
really
so
hard.
I was
Imagine
never
how
really
skinny
treated
he
very
was at
well
high
by,
school.
a lot of girls or anything like that, and big surprise. Imagine that. And so anyway, this happened, and I kind of got used to this, and it was normal. So I would try to improve myself and like make myself look better, and try to do this, and it would just be met with the same outcome, which was a massive failure. Big surprise.
I still can't.
Being a level 60 warrior isn't as attractive to women as it is to other 16-year-old guys.
Wait! That escalated. Okay, the 60 level warrior, I understand it, but the 60 years old guys attracted for girls. Why did you say that?
And so anyway, I had this happen, and I eventually kind of got to the point where I was more comfortable with that, and I stopped really caring as much about what like people would think about me, and in general just like people's perception of me. And this kind of got worse as time goes on, and I think that I spent like my teenage years primarily trying to disconnect myself and trying to remove myself from the obligation to be a certain kind of person to the public, and just to society in general. I viewed society as I never chose to be here. This was not up for discussion. I just spawned in here, and so it's like I have to
There is interesting way how he thinks.
All these roles, I have to do all these things, I have to be this kind of a person. And then, when I was like 17, 18, 19, I asked myself, well, why am I doing this? And so I stopped doing all of that stuff. And,
Yeah.
I've done many degenerate things, none of which I regret. Nothing at all in my life that I've ever regretted at all. But I would do things that a lot of people would consider to be very improper. Let's just say that. And so
Improper?
I never really viewed myself, I never really viewed it as like a good or a bad thing. I just, simply existed, and I did what I would do. And that was it. And at that point, I pretty much had completely disconnected myself from the perception of other people. And
He's
this was
34?
at the same time, like
Who
growing
knows,
up,
might
my
around
mom
there.
was, I think
Around
there was
30.
maybe 2 years or so where she made above the poverty level in terms of income. And so we basically barely skated by most of the time. And primarily the reason for that, honestly, is because my dad always paid child support, etc., at least until I was 18. And, all that time, she was able to skate by with that.
Wait, they were divorced?
And pretty much survive. After high school was over,
26.
then
No, there is no way he's 26. I'm 25. I mean, the look doesn't make sense, but I'm pretty sure he's like 30 and above, like around 30.
obviously, like, that stopped, and then she wasn't able to support herself. So
I thought he's
I was
26. No,
having to
you
figure out
thought.
ways to make
Okay.
money and try to, like, piece together money. She would borrow money sometimes from my dad, and it was in general like a very, very negative situation. And so we never really had any money. This was the time where, I was pretty much, ironically, at the peak of my degeneracy. I was probably one of the highest rated warriors in WoW. At the time, it was great, but not necessarily in real life. And so at this point, I had pretty much completely disconnected myself from the way that people saw me. And I stopped caring about the way that people saw me because I pretty much gave up on being like a normal person. I gave up on being accepted by the public. I gave up on living.
I'm at this point now where he's crazy. I don't think he's crazy. Basically, what I say is that he's introvert. From what I understood, he's introvert. He don't like to be with people like me. Like, I don't like people to be with people at all. I don't have problems communicate, be outside, make like I'm like he said, I'm like super good actor with it. I just like to be alone more than with other people, or it's like hard for me to find someone to speak that I really like, or like I can communicate with everyone. Yeah, same. Little I have can communicate with everyone as well, but it's like I just like to be more like alone. And from his perspective, he's trying to basically prove to the society that he's worthy. Like he's dressing well. He's brushing his teeth. Like he's trying to be good and look good. And for some reason, it's not working. And he at some point he just stopped doing it because it's never working. Like, and at the same time, he hates people. I'm introvert. I don't care. I'm introvert. Wait. I don't have problem. I don't care. I'm extrovert. Okay, I'm blind. Okay, you're extrovert, so you like to be around people a lot. This is like, I know people that are basically scared to be alone. They cannot live alone. They feel like they have to be outside with someone else permanently, and they feel really bad about this. In my opinion, these people are just lonely for some reason. I had legit outsider in my class. Girl, outsider. What do you call outsider? Like she never speaks with anyone? I feel like you can communicate with almost everyone if you try to. Even with this outsider, you still can communicate and try to make like friendship or something, to try to understand how she thinks, or at least for the experience, like how people think. When the teacher asks her a question, she legit starts looking down. It's hard for her to answer. Yeah, basically she don't like to be there. She really don't like to be there. She hate communication. Try to communicate, bro. Can I give you a challenge? Can I give you a challenge? Do you think you can, as extrovert as you, can you teach her to communicate? How to like behave in school at least? Do you think you can like make the connection? For me, it's like super interesting to make things like that, even if I don't like to talk with people. Okay, we move to the clip to understand why Asmongold actually became what he was.
Living a normal life, or having a family or anything like that. I just felt like I just was not capable of that based off of my experiences that I had. And I had many other ones too. Like I stabbed somebody and a few other things too.
Wait, stab someone? Did he say I stabbed someone?
Like that. I just felt like I just was not capable of that based off of my experiences that I had. And I had many other ones too. Like I stabbed somebody and a few other things too. I probably wouldn't even say, just do it to drastically alter people's perception of me. But either way, a lot of these instances where I kind of was like, okay, this is bad. Maybe it's better that I'm quarantined in my house. And so anyway, I did this a lot, and my mom and I, like, it was really just kind of the two of us. My dad was there, he was supportive, and he always has been supportive. But other than that, I do have family, but none of them live in the state of Texas. And so any trouble, any problems, anything like that, it was pretty much entirely on me to resolve this issue. And so take care of my mom.
Around 800!
Like that.
Oh, send it on Discord, I want to see it.
Her health started deteriorating at about the same time. This is big surprise. You smoke since you're 16. You spend your entire time smoking cigarettes, watching Ancient Aliens, and fucking around on the internet playing WoW. and you're overweight massively like she was, this isn't good for your health, especially when you're getting into your 60s, which she was at that time, because she had me when she was like 39.
Then people say it's okay to be fat.
And so at this point, her health was deteriorating, and I remember like she had like a number of instances where like I would like wake up and I hear her like screaming because she would like I don't even really know what the fuck was wrong with her. I don't know. It was like a weird thing where like she couldn't see out of her eye, and then she had like some kind of like I think like a bleed in her eye, and then
Wait. Bleed in your eye? What can cause you bleed in your eye? What the fuck? I should check it. Bro, like if your eye bleeds, that's terrifying. And there is something really wrong.
She had like I think it wasn't really a heart attack. There was like some sort of like variation of that. And I remember like her like begging me not to call the ambulance, and this is just like, and this is at the same time that
this is bad.
The house is fucking, we can barely pay for the house. We're worried about getting evicted from the house. We have no AC, or no, we did have AC. We didn't have heat, and so I would go to sleep, and like the house would be so cold because I would just give her the heater. And I always viewed it as like, I'm sleeping out on Mount Everest, right? It's like, I'm cosplaying as Bear Grylls. And I remember like my glass of water in my room, there would have like ice crystals on the edge of it, right? Because of how fucking cold it was. Oof. And so I did that really for like 2 years. And so we had like basically like zero money. And so this happened, and pretty much like her health would deteriorate more and more and more to the point where she couldn't drive, she couldn't do X, she couldn't do Y, she couldn't get a job anymore. And then it relied on me more and more to completely support her in like pretty much all ways. And I remember she would like beg, like she was like on the ground like crying, begging me not to call an ambulance. And so this was very upsetting for me, by the way. I got to the point where like at this time period I would wake up like every 2 hours or so with like a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my name, and this went on for maybe like 6 months to a year. And also I want to say that like all of this stuff and everything about it, I don't really like, everybody in life has problems, and I hope that by sharing my problems people can kind of see where I'm coming from as a person. I don't really care about sympathy. I don't care about people feeling bad for me. I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't matter to me. So I hope that nobody thinks that this is coming off as any form of a, like sympathy play. I've had things bad happen in my life. I think that in many cases they've been my fault. I've deserved them. But this...
Yeah, everyone has bad things in his life. Like everyone has like demons that they have to fight. And at some points, like shit happens. You just don't have to think that, like, let's say every negative force is coming to me, that's why I'm suffering. Like, this is bullshit. Everyone is like that.
It's just what's happened. And so anyway, and every action and every outcome in my life leading up to now has led me to the position that I am right now. And I think that in a lot of cases I'm happy with how I am. And you can't just go back and edit out all the bad parts and expect to be in the good part. And so at the same time this was happening, like a lot of my friends were obviously going through college, finishing college, having girlfriends, like moving in and everything. And I was worried about, number one, my mom dying, number two, being homeless, and number three, at that point, I had always assumed that I would kill myself after high school. Like that was my plan. And Wrath of the Lich King came out, and I just got distracted. I forgot. And
think about it. Imagine you plan to kill yourself, and then a fucking game save your life. That's so strange. Yeah, like imagine, bro. A game makes you delay your suicide. What the fuck?
And so I ended up not doing that. And because of that, I never brushed my teeth.
That's me? No, that's not you. What do you mean?
Never cared. And this caused...
I find it. Okay. You're talking about something else. Okay.
Rot out. And so a lot of my teeth had to be, I had to get fillings and everything as a teenager. And my dad paid for a lot of it, which he was very, very unhappy about.
Wait, I'm 17 years old and I never have had a girlfriend. I am scared of women. Why you're scared? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like you're scared to speak with them, or like, huh? How are you scared of women, bro? You have to accept that people experience things, and it's normal for someone to be different. You know, what do you think is gonna happen if, let's say, you speak with girl? I think I kind of never had that problem because I basically grew up with a lot of girls around me. Because, I mean, for example, I have a sister, and this is the first girl that I have communication with. So, I mean, I guess this helped me when I went to school to like understand that this is still the same thing. It's not something that it's super different that you should be super scared of to speak with or something. I have sister too. I mean, yeah, maybe when you have sister, it helps you. Let's say the first day of school, you see other girls and you're like, okay, these creatures are literally the same as my sister, so there is no bad thing about it, right? If you think it that way, I don't know. I'm too shy, maybe. Okay, you're too shy. You're too shy. In my opinion, don't think it that much. It's kind of hard, but try to speak the same way that you speak with the boys, which is not the best advice because some things you cannot say to a girl that you should say to a boy, which is understandable. But in my opinion, if you're scared and you're shy, fuck it. Go try to speak with girls. Just do it. Just for the experience. Go to a girl that you don't care about. Literally. You see a girl in your class, you don't care about it. Like you don't care about her, like what is she thinking about you or something. You just go and speak with her something, just to have the experience, to see that it's not that bad. In my experience, I just treat them like dudes, real ones stay fake, ones go easy. I mean, yeah, that works as well, but depends. Like you cannot communicate at the same way that you communicate with a man. Yeah, with some girls you can, but with others you just cannot. Neither. I mean, yeah, it's good way to start at least. Like, just try to speak with them like you speak with the boys. Try to just make the experience. You're 17. You have like or 3. No, it should be 2 years in school. It doesn't matter what happens after this. You will forget about these people at some point. If let's say that something bad happened and not bad, but like cringe situation when you speak with someone. You know, the only difference is you shouldn't be aggressive with girls, but that's it. Yeah, bro, you shouldn't be aggressive with all people. I mean, aggression is dumb, in my opinion. I don't understand how people try to like communicate with aggression. It doesn't make sense for me. Or to like make drama about something. I'm like a drama hater, basically. I don't know if I actually know someone that I might my enemy or something. I'm the guy that can communicate with everyone, any language. I mean, energy language. Like I feel like I understand how people behave. Okay, what it mean by aggression? For example, when you play WoW with friends and he does something stupid but it's funny, how absurd it is to roast what he did and both laughed about it. Aggression, I mean to things that escalate. Like there is difference between like you're making fun of someone and you know how he will act because he would think it's a joke or something. It's funny thing, yeah. But some people, if you say something that it's not appropriate, they will think that you're trying to attack them at some point. They'll try to defend, and then boom, 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 two sides, boom, fight. Disrespect, let's say, his mom. Directness is probably better in the case. Directness in, I think people have to say what they think of other people, what they think about stuff. They have to be honest, for sure. That's easier. And to learn how to not say something, or there are people that can say literally everything to make you feel okay, which is something is not the best part, because if you see someone who has a problem with something, and if you try to ignore this problem and tell him, oh, it's not a problem, bro, you're just a normal person like the rest of the people, it's the problem still stays, and someone else or like he will understand it in the hard way. So if you have friends, tell them the truth. Don't try to like make them like you. Yeah, some things are not likable. Look how you forget that you're hungry. Trust me, I'm hungry, but I'm strong. Okay, let's watch the video, and I want to go home.
And so these fillings would come out. This is what happens with fillings or anything like that. and they did come out.
Look at
and then, of
Asmongold's
course, my
face.
teeth deteriorated naturally because I love soda.
Look at my
I love
face.
drinking soda. I've got a soda right over there. Went to McDonald's earlier today. Really
Look
like
at my
soda.
smile.
Like it so much that right now I only have 5
You missed
teeth
it.
left in my whole mouth.
No, I have it.
And,
I have
I think
monitor
you start
there.
with like 32, which is kind of crazy. To
You
think. And
you
so,
became
anyway,
crazy.
This happened, and all my teeth were starting to rot out. I was not able to eat with one side of my mouth. I would
Is
have these
Asmongold
toothaches
crazy?
that would get so bad that I would pass out from the pain, and I eventually
Is Steve
had to
Kitcher
go
crazy?
to like the like basically, if you're like. The people that really get fucked by
Is
medical bills
Boyko
are the
Borisov
people
crazy?
that are in the middle of like economically. Because
Crazy
if you're
cool
broke,
playing
like,
League of
they'll do
Legends.
shit for you for like $10. If they can get anything, they'll do
Nah,
it.
that's not
And so I had a
totally not
program
true.
like that, and so they would have to pull out my teeth kind of regularly, and that's how I lost. I have no back teeth at all. That's why if you look at my jawline, it's very different than if you look at it from like high school or like by the age of like 19 or 20. It's completely changed because I've lost all of my teeth and my jaw bone is like pretty
Imagine
much
losing
down.
your teeth.
And so, which as far as I know is
age.
unfixable, at least in the way that I have this problem. There's a separate problem that is fixable. I don't have that one. I talked to a dentist about it. So it's basically like irreversibly fucked. And so anyway, this happened, and it was not a great time. My teeth were rotting out, etc. And at that point, I had to completely, like, pretty much give up the notion and give up the dream of ever being a normal person. At that point, I could feel myself no longer being the same as anybody else, right? And I actually, for a while, I really hated it, but then I got used to it. And then I embraced it, and I think that's where I am now. So I would say like that was from like ages like I would say 13 to I don't know like 21, somewhere around there, right? Then after that, I started doing other stuff. I was playing WoW. I was making videos. I was doing other random things, right? And my mom's like health pretty much would always get worse, and that's just that's just the way it is when you get older, right? And so I would have to do my best to like take care of her, and worked at the IRS for a while. Tried to work at Sam's Club, didn't really go very well. But overall, I tried to go back to college. I do have a college degree, if you can imagine that, but learned more from
What college degree? I wanna know.
business from WoW than I did from business school. And
Wait, can I see what college degree he has? Asmongold. What college degree he has? Also known as Asmon Zak Channel Asmongold Yazakti Gentris Games World of Warcraft. Channel's degree. Where can I see degree? Career. Awards and nominations. 1. Streamer Awards. Bro. 23, 24. Oh, 22. College. Later attended college but dropped out to focus on his streaming career. Bro just said he has a college degree. Maybe Wikipedia is not the best site for this.
then I spent that time, and then this was all the time, like, me not knowing if she would, every day I would wake up and, like, hear that voice in my mind, and, like,
But the
it was
voices!
really, really bad. And this is just something I would do all the time, and I try to always make the best out of things. I try to just, not think about it, but, looking back on it, things were very, very bad. And so anyway, fast forward a little bit later, and that's whenever I was like going back to college. I thought that I would just, basically have a shitty job, play video games for my whole life, and then die, right? And then I got a shitty job, and I realized a shitty job is actually a lot more shitty than I thought it would be. So then I remember it was probably like one of the best things that ever happened to me, is that I took this job at Sam's Club, and I hated it so much, it actually encouraged me to make myself a better person, if you can imagine that. And so I signed up to go back to university and finish another degree that I was working on so I could go to law school. Actually, I wanted to be a lawyer, basically because I had a friend in high school. We would always play Magic the Gathering, and I could see him. He would always manipulate the rules to come out ahead and win different, like, arguments in Magic the Gathering, and I was like, I bet lawyers do that in real life. I should do that myself. And so that was always my motivation. And anyway, I did that, and then a number of other things, random things that are not, I would say like YouTube or public safe that I did. And then after that, I started doing YouTube. And then I started doing YouTube, and I focused on that. And I would put videos out of the way that I lived, etc. And people would always find it to be very funny or like weird, and everybody would like really like. There were a lot of people, and this is true even now.
Yeah,
People
basically
that, like,
because
hate
it's
me
not
for living
normal.
the way that I do, and I think that really, people
It's
look
not
at
common.
a person like me, and they see a person who has a number of things in their life that they wish they had, but I've done basically. If you look at it from like, what do they tell you to do when you're growing up? I used every single thing to do as a checklist of what not to do, right? And so, I think
Smart.
that a lot of people could be a little bit,
Smart.
annoyed by that. And so I can see why, and et cetera. And it is disgusting, by the way. And so, missing half your teeth and, living in a dump with a dead rat alarm clock. You don't know if your mom's going to be alive that day. You've got
That's
no
horrible.
money. You have to support her. She's never going to be able to support herself. And things are just basically slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And I started doing YouTube, and things started doing a little bit better. I started doing streaming. Things were doing better then. I went to get my teeth fixed, because if you look at my old videos, a lot of my old videos, you'd notice that I smile. When I smile, I cover my mouth when I'd smile. The reason for that is this isn't Saikuno, where I don't like my smile. Yeah, well, I don't like my smile. It's not because I think it's ugly. It's because I didn't have any fucking teeth. And I didn't want people to see that. And so that's why I would cover my mouth a lot whenever I first started streaming. And so this happened to me for a long time. I go to the dentist, and they tell me it's going to be like around $50,000 to get all my teeth fixed and everything taken care of. Then I thought, maybe, because it was the first time at that point where I kind of like, it really hit me that I had like irreversibly and irreparably damaged my life in a way that I couldn't just immediately like undo. Because like as a kid, usually you make a mistake where it's like you scrape your knee and then, well, you put a bandage on and it gets better. But with this, it never was going to get better, and it's only going to get worse, and it certainly has, by the way. And so anyway, I did want to kill myself, but I decided instead of killing myself, I'd do something even worse. I'd start streaming. And I started streaming
Okay.
because I wasn't really making enough money. And everybody says, oh, well, I started streaming because, I liked interacting with people. It's because I was lonely. Well, I started streaming for money. I needed some fucking money. And so
I feel like this is the worst way to start making money, because most of the time it's just not working. You just have to do the right thing.
that's what I did. And I was like, guys, we've got a donation goal of $100, and if we get $100, I'm gonna go to Wendy's tomorrow. And I would always meme it up, $1 equals one donut, and it's like I would make a bunch of money, and it was great. And things actually
I'm
did go
hungry!
very well. I streamed every single night. I was very dedicated. I tried to make things as entertaining as possible, and I did what I tried to do best.
Go eat
right?
after
And,
the stream.
Things
I'm
kind of
strong.
got better and they improved. This happened just at pretty much the same time. A lot of my friends were kind of evolving and going past,
We wait.
like,
Nah.
college.
You're
Like, they
not
were
waiting.
getting
You're not
careers,
waiting.
getting
I'm not
married,
gonna
having
make
kids.
you
Like,
wait.
now I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure every single friend that I have is either married or has a kid, which is kind of crazy considering that I'm sitting here doing what I'm doing. But it is kind of
Same,
weird. I'm
same.
34 now.
People
which
around
is,
me having kids and
honestly,
they're married.
a fucking shock. Like I can't believe it. I don't feel 34. I feel like I'm still 16. But I look in the mirror, I see my hairline, and I think to myself, oh my god, wait a minute, I think I'm actually 34.
Warframe. What is
And if I'm really
Warframe,
not sure,
Gabe?
I talk to somebody who's 16, and then I realize, hold up, wait a minute. No, actually, I am 34. Because that's
He's
there's
34.
No
He's
better
34,
way
we
to
know now.
realize that you're actually older until you talk to somebody who's actually younger. At least it is for me. So anyway, my stream was doing very well. My social life really,
It's a
I
game,
pretty much
Boho.
like stopped interacting with a lot of friends of mine because I
don't
focused pretty
know
much
if I
just on
played it.
streaming and on making this as much as possible. And also, I'm a very introverted person in a lot of ways. I like being alone. I don't like people talking to me a whole lot. I don't like phone calls. I don't like interacting with people. I don't like going out. You guys might notice this, right? If it's, a mystery or secret. And so, big surprise, that's how it was. And then, I started streaming. My stream started doing better. And there was a degree of like stress that created. But, and in terms of like my lifestyle and everything, living that way, I never really thought about it at that point. I never really worried too much about like kind of how people would perceive me. I always viewed myself as like, this is just who I am. This is what I am. That's all there is to it. And I never really took, and I still don't really take any criticism or any negativity to heart. I don't take it personally. I don't really care a whole lot. And so at the end of the day, it never really bothered me, and people thought it was funny. And so, I had like a snack box, and there were like maggots in the snack box, and then I would eat the food with the maggots inside of the food. It was like honey buns, which were really, really good. And to be honest, I didn't even really taste them. So it was pretty much the same thing. It didn't even bother me. And so, I had like taken at that point, my teeth had like totally rotten out. And so I had taken pliers to like break pieces of my teeth off, even like if I wasn't able to speak during a stream.
Maggots, maggots, yeah, bro, maggots.
Or like playing a game or something like that, talking to people. And so I still have the pliers actually in my bathroom from all the way back then. And so this had happened for quite a while. And then I guess you could say, I started the second phase of my life of like trying to remove myself from like caring about being worried about the outcome of other people. It was always very scary for me to know that my mom would die one day, right? This was extremely scary. This was like the one thing that I didn't want to have happen. And in 2021, it did happen. And so leading up to that was incredibly stressful. She pretty much did everything that she possibly could. I love her, but she did every fucking thing that she could to make things as absolutely unpleasant as possible. Oh my God. And so, yes. It was very frustrating to deal with somebody like that. But, she was 70 at the time. And so it really, really, really hurt. And it's... she was the main person in my life that I was like most connected to, and this is the person that I had like the deepest emotional connection with, and to just lose them, and it was kind of random, by the way. Like things got worse over time, but it was nothing like at the very end there. It just kind of went off a fucking cliff. And so this happened, and then at about the same time, a little bit after that, I also broke up with a long-term girlfriend at the time. And then at the same time, my dad got so fucking sick that we were like talking about writing his will, and he's still setting all that up because he doesn't know if this shit's going to happen again, right? What's going to be? And he's 77 too, so it's rough, right? It's bad. And he went through pneumonia 4 fucking times in a year. And so, and he's still getting around, going to the store, etc. But I got to help him every once in a while too, right? And it is what it is. And so again, and we don't have any family around here, and so if something goes wrong, if something's bad, there's one person who's responsible for that, and that's me. And so that's a lot of stress. It's a lot of pressure, right? And I had all 3 of these things happen to me within pretty much 1 year.
Yeah, I asked you about that earlier. Just try to see what you have right now in life, like in school. You have do you have friends? Do you have family and stuff on? And try to understand that other people maybe don't have something that you have, and you don't even realize you have.
Each other, maybe 2 years with the thing with my dad.
And yeah, but so, he will die. Who will die?
Again, the second part of, I think that my abstraction of reality is that I've tried my best to remove myself from caring about other people as much as I can, and not caring about them in terms of being friendly. Of course I'm friendly with people, but being emotionally attached to having them in my life, being emotionally attached to the way that they feel about me and how they're doing. It's been very hard for me to actually have any sort of feelings towards people when it seems like everybody that was important to me is fucking dying. And so this
basically it's like a trauma,
me, right? Or breaking up with me. So at a certain point, you just kind of get away from that. And then after that, we entered into, I would say, the third phase, which is the point where I lose the connection with myself. And I think that whenever I finally do that, I think that maybe one day I might be happy again. And what I mean by that is that I always worry about like dying and all this stuff and like how I'm like where do you go, what happens, right? And it would be very, very stressful for me. And I usually reassure myself by reminding myself that I'm just a hyper-intelligent monkey that probably evolved too fast. And I think that we all are, by the way. It's not like I'm special. And that usually is oddly reassuring. But otherwise,
intelligent monkey.
It was very stressful for me. And I did think that I was farther along. I thought I would be okay with dying until I thought that I was dying. And then I realized that I wasn't as far along as I thought I was. Recently, whenever I had a blood pressure reading of 194, which is a high score so far, at least so far. And so things have been improving since then.
Asmongold, improve yourself, bro. Improve yourself. I know that you don't care about it, but people care. You need to live at least 40 years old, 40 years more at least.
By the way, but anyway, this has been.
Asmongold, drink water again. What? Does he? I don't believe it.
I stopped really caring about anything. I stopped caring about what happens to me. I stopped caring about what happens to other people. I stopped caring about what people think about me, and I felt that the more that I have, the more that I've cared about things, the more unhappy I've been as a person. And I think that this is true on like a base level. Is this some sort of pathological problem for me? I think it probably is. But at the end of the day, this is the best way that I know to cope with it.
It's
right?
interesting that he understands.
For me, the way that I live and everything is a manifestation of that. It's always been this way for me. My mom, like growing up, things were pretty messy, etc. But then even now, things are worse than they ever have been in terms of like being messy. But I never really think about it or worry about it because I'm just never really. It doesn't even cross my mind. I'm thinking about things that I want to think about. I'm doing things that I want to do. And I never think about what other people think about me. I don't think about how it affects other people. I don't think about how they feel or anything like that. And it might sound like a bad thing, but it's made me a happier and more fulfilled person, not worrying about anybody else really other than myself unless I have to. And it's been very weird for me. Getting older especially, and like having like priorities change in your life, and having different things happen to you. And so I
will go soon. I have school tomorrow again.
How I got to be this way, and hopefully a little bit of this can like explain why do I behave this way? Why am I like this? Why do I have no shame with things, right? It's because I've lived a life where I've tried desperately to hold on to any degree of dignity that I've had and anything that I've had, and it's just slowly been taken away from me. Whether it's myself, pieces of myself, other people, or the way that the world sees me. I think that the more that I've kind of just, let things flow freely and not care about it, the more happy and content that I've been. And so it's an ongoing process, and began whenever I said, I guess I said I was like 13, and I guess the last thing for me to do is really to let go of myself and just finally be content with my own existence for the time that I exist. And I'm not really a religious person. I'm not a spiritual person either. I don't believe there's any light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely don't think so. And I just try to make the best of being in the tunnel. And so that's why I live the way that I do. That's why I do the things that I do. That's why I say the things that I do. That's why a lot of criticism and things like this, of course I don't like it. Of course I don't like it. But it doesn't really emotionally affect me in the same way that I think it does for other people. And it used to affect me a lot more, but I've, gotten a little bit better at least at dealing with it. And so hopefully this can answer some questions and kind of give people a little bit more insight into my life and the kind of person I am. And that's pretty much about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to cover. 30-minute video. Actually, I was expecting it to be longer. So, that's my life story. That's what's happened to me in general.
Asmongold looks like Jesus.
That's why.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
And
why he looks like Jesus?
Maybe not. Right? I mean, I honestly
I'm not a believer.
Twitch and,
just saying.
Like the notoriety and everything. Like people recognize you. I mean.
I agree with him on the positive nihilistic part. What is nihilistic? Long hair, beard, and white. Bear one and white. Yeah, bear, long hair. He needs longer hair. He needs longer hair. Basically, not caring about anything in life makes you happier. I feel like not caring about anything for sure not makes you happier, but let's say removes the part that you feel bad about stuff, you know? Like if you don't feel bad about some random stuff, basically you're happier at some point, yeah. Including religion and other stuff. I just go further than that and also link it for life having a meaning. Life having no meaning. Yeah, I've thought about that a lot. Like the purpose of life. Why do we exist? And for me, it doesn't make any sense why everything exists and why everything is like that. It's like it doesn't make sense. Like let's say everything in the world makes sense at this point, that this thing is like that because of a rule in this world. Let's say you drop a bow and it drops because there is a gravity, right? And there is a rule about it. And for me, it doesn't make sense that, like, why life exists. Like, what is the reason for life? If the cosmos is that big and so on, it's messing my head. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Like, social. Kraken is talking facts and something that we should listen. Ah! Meanwhile, we talk with 1v1 about Jim! Okay. I didn't saw that. I just go for it. I found my answers, by the way, if you want to hear it. Give me the answers. Give me the answers about this. Because, for the example, these people think about life. People think how to, like, be successful in life, to do some random shit and so on and so on. Yeah, I still do these things. I still want to. I mean, I have a lot of goals. I want to achieve so many things, and the only problem I have is literally time, because I feel like I won't have enough time for one lifetime to achieve everything that I want and there. So there are people that don't have goals, which is sad thing. But I'm basically the opposite. And at the same time, I feel like everything just doesn't make sense in this world. So in the way we exist because in the universe hosts us, and the universe exists because we observe it. Huh. So in the way we exist because the universe hosts us, and the universe exists because we observe it. So basically, for this is like I don't know how it's called, the theory. I'll call it the tree theory because it's basically speaking about tree. If a tree falls in the forest and no one heard about it, does that tree actually exist? So this is the same as observation. Bro talks about the universe. Okay, it's going on. No, it's Gabe's fault. It's Gabe's fault. He asks something, I ask something, and we start speaking about crazy shit. It's similar. Basically, for the universe to exist or to call it real, the only thing that observes is literally human being. For all we know, the universe is empty without life, and we are the only one that observe the things, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would you do that if it's not simulation? At least only in quantum physics that actually happen and stuff actually goes wild. What else do we observe? Time. Yeah, but like with time is different. Like time is relevant. Like, yeah, you cannot go backwards, but at the same time you can experience time dilation and stuff like that. It's weird how like literally almost everyone understands time. How I will say hello right now, and after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 10 seconds. 10 seconds ago, I said hello, and I cannot go back anymore because it's there. It just exists. And I'm like, let's say 30 seconds older than that. And at the same time, you can go somewhere in the universe or to just travel faster, and you will experience time slower. Huh? How does it make sense? Why is made like that? Okay. I have to read the chat because I went too much in my thoughts. So without civilization, time has no meaning. Okay. There is a theory that says that time is actually something that human made, the human brain made. So it's actually not something. It's not even true. It just we just make it so we can understand things. Quantum physics explain its stuff can be two places yeah. Two places I cannot say that, but I understand the word. And until you observe it in the one place, it is in both and has influenced in both places. Yeah. It's very weird. This is like there is also experiment you can do with light and the photons. Yeah, they travel in waves, bro. I want to like try to explain because it's English and I'm really bad at explaining things like that in English. But basically, if you observe the light, it basically when you don't observe the light, it behave in one way. When you observe it, it's behave in another way, which is weird. You get confused on things that you say. Huh? What is bro on? What do you mean? So if universe has no life that observes time, they need to do everything all at once. And thought infinity, at some point we got created and gave time by observing it. So you're 15 and you're peak. What the fuck? Okay, you're speaking about League of Legends, guys. I'm confused. Do you still coach? Yeah, I still coach, but for money. I don't remember which one I was which. When you don't observe light, it behaves like a wave, and when you observe it, it behaves like a particle. Exactly. Basically, when you observe the light, you can see if you observe every particle, and you have like two holes like this, and two holes like this, and the particles goes boof, boof, boof. They goes one by one, and you see where they pop. Like this place, and you see and they make two lines, right? Because there is a line, two holes of line. But when you don't observe it, it makes, do the math, more like seven lines. I could be wrong, but it makes 7 lines, which doesn't make sense because it behaves like waves, and when you wave, it's like poof poof poof, goes in different ways. Double split experience, if you wanna Google it, chat. Yeah, double split experience. Yeah. Okay. I won't bother people with physics and things. I'm a person that hated school so bad, and at the same time, I want to learn things like that all the time. Like I want to learn so much about everything around me, about people, about physics, about biology, about everything. And at the same time, I hated school. How is that possible? Wasn't we watching something? Kraken? Yeah. Okay. We finished the video that is literally 1 minute left. We go to eat.
I guess it's nice, right? And I mean, sometimes having money is way better than not having money. But in terms of like, having a lot of wealth, I live in my same house. I use my same desk. I, for a very long time drove my same car. I eat in the same places. I do the same things. I really haven't changed at all, honestly, ever since I was like younger, ever since my stream got popular. And maybe one day I will, maybe one day I won't. At the end of the day, I think that one thing that I've always really kind of focused on and thought about a lot is that I have complete and absolute agency over my own life. I can do anything that I want to do, and I can not do anything that I don't want to do. And I think that's been a very comforting fact. And so people ask me, like, are you ever going to do this? It's not something I'm really thinking about changing right now, but in the future, I might change my mind. I just don't know yet. And so I just try to live life and enjoy it and, be able to experience things for the way that they're meant to be experienced. And really, I don't care a whole lot about that either. I don't care about, going out or having certain life experiences or, oh, you'll regret this. Well, who cares if you regret this when you're old? You're about to die anyway. It doesn't even matter. And so I've never really felt that way. It's just it's not in me. And so that's really my whole life. And that's why I live the way that I live. It's why I do things the way that I do things. And, maybe one day it'll change. Maybe one day it won't. Who the fuck knows? Tune in next time to find out. So anyway, guys, hopefully this is a little bit more informative, etc. And shit, I got an early end for the day. We had to record something early, so I came home. I figured I'd record this, and it's only 6 p.m., and so I don't know what the hell to do with myself now. I'm not streaming. I'm gonna go walk around my house like an NPC, and so like I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go play video games. So anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Thanks for listening. If you've gotten this far,
Bye bye, Asmongold.
And yeah, things have been going great for me recently. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been so supportive and everything.
He lived
and,
his good years already.
My best way that I can say thank you is by doing more of it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and that's about it. Peace.
Peace! Yeah, about what he said about we will die and at some point doesn't matter. If I start talking, I think I won't eat today, and the stream will last like an hour more. So yeah, I won't say anything about that and stuff about that.